Hello and welcome to Some Boy Online. Now today I come to you from the 11th of June 2021. Now this date, as some of you may know, was originally the release date for the highly anticipated third instalment in the Jurassic World franchise and sixth instalment of the Jurassic Park franchise overall, Jurassic World Dominion. So just yesterday, late last night, we had the first ever apart from the logo poster, the first proper poster with visual elements from the movie. So yeah, the first teaser is a mosquito on the skin of a dinosaur, and it reads, "It all started here." Now this is it's just the first idea of what the film will be like, because it's been all this time, and you imagine, oh, it's Jurassic World Dominion. We've literally just had this one logo with the amber, which does seem to be a focus of the film. And we've just had the dinosaurs escaping in Fallen Kingdom into the world, and we know we've got that to roll with, and that the original cast is returning. So it's starting to really shape up. It's just a shame it's still a year away. And then it felt like just minutes afterwards we got this other picture, which is allegedly, well no, it definitely is, an actual screenshot from the movie. And not only that, but it's kind of a mic drop moment where you're reading, it's like, oh, it's a picture of a dinosaur, it's got feathers and that. It's a brand new species of dinosaur that we haven't seen before. Because there was kind of a preview event, and a person that saw that kind of described what he saw of a 5-minute clip, the opening sequence of Dominion. So he's describing the events, and the kind of mic drop moment is when he says 65 million years ago, as in the opening of the film begins when the dinosaurs were actually alive, and shows the origin of where the dinosaurs came from. The mosquito, well, there were multiple, but the mosquito getting DNA from a dinosaur. I'm like, how cool is that? I never thought that ever before. It's weird how with these things they somehow think of something brand new, left field, but yet so important and so ingrained in the franchise. And it's been said on record by Colin Trevorrow that he really wants to tie all 6 of the movies together. And it's weird because you got Jurassic Park, which obviously gets callbacks all the time. The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 are kind of very abstract and on their own. They were just done as, with characters from Jurassic Park, but not in a very linear fashion. They weren't planned, they were done afterwards. Whereas the World trilogy was planned as such from the start. I remember seeing Jurassic World 2015, and there was an interview with Colin Trevorrow, and he said, oh, the one I'm really looking forward to making is the third one. I was like, oh, because Jurassic World was really good. So if that's just kind of the warm-up, then what are we in store for in the third installment? Fallen Kingdom, I'd say, was a bit not as good as it could have been. I really enjoyed Fallen Kingdom. I actually saw it 4 times in the cinema. But yeah, Dominion is really looking to be really quite good. So this slew of information, which seems to have intentionally been dropped on the day that the film would have been released if it weren't for the pandemic and everything. The most recent image that we've gotten, this is the third one now within like a day, is actually from a puzzle, as in a jigsaw puzzle. So yeah, with Dominion originally releasing a day, one of the things I was worried about was stuff like merchandise releasing now, like early, because obviously that stuff is prepared in advance, and now the film's been pushed back a year. It's a lot of time for leaks and things to get out, which we don't want. But one of those leaks has happened, but because it's a year out, I'm willing to kind of look at it, because if it was really close to the film's release, I'm like, oh, okay, don't look. But when it's this far out from a year, that's 365 days of not looking at stuff. You're gonna end up seeing it at some point in the age of the internet. So yeah, this one leak is of this like a puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle, and it's just an image of 4 Deinonychus. Now, I don't know where people have gotten this from, but everyone's calling them Deinonychus, and they appear to be those, the physical heads that we saw ages ago. It was way back when the actual filming of Dominion was happening during the pandemic. And there were these strange raptor-like props as stand-ins before they had the CGI. And everyone was wondering what they were. There was like a white one and then some browny orangey ones. Kind of looking like one of the raptors from Jurassic Park 3, the white one, and then the others look a bit like the Lost World raptors. But what's interesting about Deinonychus is that the velociraptors in the films are basically Deinonychus. Like in the original novel, they were Deinonychus, but in the film, the name Velociraptor was seen as better, basically, so they were given that. Hence, the remains of a Velociraptor are dug up in Montana at the start of the film, when this is in fact the location of Deinonychus. So it's strange, but it's the Jurassic universe, innit? So why of all the species would you get, Deinonychus, which is basically what we've had already? I suppose maybe it's to show these opposing genetics companies that are being kind of rumoured and thingy, because dinosaurs have been spread out around the world now, so it's not just InGen that has access to this technology. So you could have, for example, accurate velociraptors appearing, then we've got, of course, Blue, and then this kind of evil raptor squad, which is, by the way, clearly a parallel. If you see the image, it's almost the exact same poses as this promo picture from Jurassic World, where it's got the raptor squad, Blue, Charlie, Echo, Delta. So I imagine these going kind of against Blue, if the coin is evil. I mean, the dinosaurs, they eat people, so it depends, on your perspective. But I'm really looking forward to seeing them. They're looking really cool, honestly. I just keep on wondering, the more you see of this film, the more just different things there are. I mean, if you think about Fallen Kingdom, there was, volcano boom, dinosaurs run away. There was the Allosaurus and Carnotaurus had little bits, but it's basically focused on the Indoraptor. And in Dominion, they're promising all of these different species. It seems like the Giganotosaurus is going to be the big kind of dinosaur of the film, which is really cool. It's like a fan, just fan service, because people have talked about that for years. But I don't think we're going to get a lot of any particular dinosaur, because there are so many, and also so many characters. That's kind of a concern. It's also hype, but you need a good balance to have a good movie at the end of the day. Yeah, so if we get this kind of anti-raptor squad, it'd be really interesting, because in the original, obviously, it was used to show that raptors could in fact be trained and used for good, and the relationship with Owen and the raptors, and especially Blue. So in this one, it's probably going to be the opposite of that, maybe tying into Alan Grant's kind of unfortunate history with raptors and his kind of horror of them.
Alan! Alan!
So this has been followed by some more news the following day, being at the Summer Games Fest, which is kind of like rivaling E3. E3 is just a few days away now, and this kind of happens before, and it's I believe Sony was there, but not in attendance at E3, so there's a bit of a rivalry going on there. But Jurassic World Evolution 2 was announced there by Jeff Goldblum himself, who returns to narrate the game. Now, my thoughts on that are, it's kind of weird. From what I've seen, you'd assume the elements that are in Evolution 2 could have technically been added as DLC in the first game. From what I've seen so far, I could be wrong. It could be amazing and everything's different and all that. And I expected at least maybe a different title, but to me, Evolution 2 sounds a bit naff, a bit weird. But that's apparently the official title, and it releases this year, so I hope they're not rushing it, because, I mean, for a start, Dominion doesn't even come out till 2022, next year. But what I always think is, and I think people kind of hope for, is some kind of like a Jurassic Park world survival horror game, something like that. Like, that really feels like a Jurassic movie as opposed to one of those builder things. Because although Jurassic World Evolution is great, for the casual consumer, I think people enjoy the kind of games you can just sit and play through and enjoy, as opposed to sitting back, strategy, planning stuff, and all that. It would be nice for a change, and to have a really like AAA high budget game, because the Jurassic franchise is huge, one of the highest grossing of all time. So yeah. But nonetheless, I'm excited to see what they do with Evolution 2. It's teased that the Mosasaurus is going to be in it, because I remember the first one, everyone wanted that as DLC. So yeah, of course they're going to do it for this one. It'll be interesting to see if they have any dinosaurs from the likes of Camp Cretaceous, because I mean, especially the Scorpius Rex, or Scorpius Rexes, because there was multiple of them. I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen it. But yeah, being the main protagonist of season 3, basically. And that would be really cool to see in live action as opposed to animated. And also you had the fluorescent Parasaurolophus. You know, different variants of dinosaurs that we'd seen in Jurassic World, and you know, the franchise as a whole, but different takes on them, and new species as well. So yeah, all of that would be really interesting to see how it unfolds. That's enough rambling for this video, but what are your thoughts on all the recent Jurassic World Dominion news? I have a feeling there's kind of more to come. It's like a landslide has happened. The stuff has started coming out. I just hope too much doesn't come out over the course of the next year. Another thing is, let's hope it's actually in cinemas, as in exclusively in cinemas and not shown on some streaming service, and that we get the cinema kind of, you know, everything back to normal by then. There is a preview of Jurassic World Dominion, as I mentioned earlier, 5 minutes long, with Fast and Furious 9, but only in IMAX, so they're actively encouraging people to go out to the movies as opposed to sitting at home on their asses. So yeah, what are your thoughts on all of the Jurassic World Dominion news? Leave your comments down below. I really like reading them, and it's, you know, really appreciated. But if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful or useful or anything like that, please like and subscribe. The channel's been doing really great, and I hope it continues to do so. Stay tuned for more Jurassic World content, as well as, you know, other things on the channel. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching.